In today's fight news, we start off with a few fight announcements, beginning with middleweights. Roman Dolidze taking on Anthony Hernandez on June 1st at UFC 302. Also at UFC 302, we have heavyweights. Alexander Volkov taking on Jailton Almeida. At lightweight, we have Edson Barboza taking on Lerone Murphy on May 18th. On a recent episode of the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, former two-time women's champion Rose Thug Namajunas had this to say: "I would like to face either Fiorot or Blanchfield. I do appreciate the respect coming from Erin because I respect her a lot as well, and I'm very impressed with her skills and stuff like that." Also on the MMA Hour, bantamweight standout Peyton Talbot says he would like to fight this summer and then hopefully again in November in MSG. Talbot also had this to say to Helwani: "I was never a fan of MMA until I started doing it when I was 17 or 18. I didn't even know what it was until I was sitting in a sushi restaurant and I saw Conor McGregor highlights for some fight that was coming up. And I was like, there's no way that's actually a thing, that people are actually allowed to fight in a cage. Then I started thinking about it. It was like, I'd like to try that." Former middleweight champion Chris Weidman had this to say on his appearance on the MMA Hour: "I think because physically I feel so good, mentally I feel really good. I'm excited to go out there and I feel great in training. I know what it sounds like and I get it. The coaches think if I wanted to, if I have the energy to do it, I could be the best in the world again." While speaking to Ariel Helwani, women's flyweight standout Erin Blanchfield had this to say in regards to a possible matchup with Macy Barber: "I know she pulled out of a fight with me. I'm pretty sure I heard Manon say she's rejected fighting her at some point. If she really wanted a title shot, she would be calling out the winner of this fight. I think there's a reason why she's not calling out the winner. She doesn't feel confident in her abilities, and she knows she's gonna lose. That speaks for itself." When speaking on the mental health issues he suffered after his KO loss to Justin Gaethje, former interim lightweight champion Dustin the Diamond Poirier had this to say: "Whenever I saw Volk talking, expressing himself and being honest, I was like, we're going through the same thing." When speaking to Ariel Helwani about not making excuses after a loss, featherweight standout Sadiq Youssef had this to say: "If you win, you can talk about it, but once you lose, you gotta shut your mouth and deal with it. Out of respect for your opponent, you shouldn't talk about it, because it's almost diminishing their win." During his recent appearance on the MMA Hour, Renato Money Moicano had this to say in regards to Paddy Pimblett's recent call-out on his YouTube channel: "Be careful what you wish for. If you want to fight Moicano, I'm going to F you up, my brother, and I'm going to steal your effing money. I will beat Jalen Turner, and then I can talk about this fat mother." While speaking to MMA on Sirius XM, former women's bantamweight champion Juliana Pena had this to say in regards to a future matchup with Kayla Harrison: "She talks a lot of crap. She's a worthy adversary, and that's definitely a fight I want later on down the line. You bet you." The back and forth between lightweights Dustin the Diamond Poirier and champion Islam Makhachev continues after Makhachev recently clapped back at Poirier with a response on X stating, "Dustin, if you could be anybody, you'd be holding this belt right now, not me." The lightweight champion Makhachev also was seen trolling Poirier on X when a fan posted, "Dustin is on a different level now." Makhachev's response: "His level is permanent contender. How many title losses? 2? 3? On a recent episode of the Tim and Sugar Show podcast, bantamweight champion Sean O'Malley had this to say about his future opponent, Merab Dvalishvili: "Merab's next. Merab is effing next. Your wish is granted. A lot of people said I'm ducking him. I just really am not ducking that little dude. I like the fight for me. There's multiple ways to win. I'm excited for the fight now.
finally. I was never ducking him. I was just never excited to fight him. Former light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz recently posted on social media that he had shoulder surgery this past weekend. This is the second shoulder surgery he's had since December. After his recent disqualification loss for biting his opponent at this past weekend's UFC event, flyweight Igor Severino's purse was withheld by the Nevada State Athletic Commission as they are reviewing the incident.
Coach Javier Mendez recently told Drake Riggs of MMA Mania that he likes the idea of Dustin being the next opponent for champion Islam Makhachev, stating, "Dustin's injury-free. He's a great fighter, a great human being. He's my pick also because of the circumstances fitting perfect for Dustin and Islam."